The moment we have been waiting for is finally here. The doors to the luxury framework and mastermind are officially open. Now through March 20th, 2024 at midnight Pacific time, you can enroll and save your seat inside our program where you're going to learn a proven strategy and framework to elevate your business into the premium or luxury sectors of the market. If you are feeling stuck or burnt out, or simply like you are ready for more in your own business as a wedding filmmaker or a photographer, this program is for you. It is designed to be a business program that helps you elevate your branding, relationships with planners, social media presence, website portfolio, communication, wedding day workflow, and more. This is truly an impactful course that is designed to rework your business from the inside out to get you actual results. Our next round of Mastermind kicks off on April 2nd, 2024, and we can't wait to embark on a journey with a new round of students, and we really hope that you are one of them. We know that you have big goals and big dreams, and you don't have to do it alone. Whether you want to be on a plane to a wedding in Lake Como or simply become one of the highest paying options in your local market, we are here to meet you where you are and help you make that vision a reality. The link to enroll is in the show notes or the description box below if you're watching on YouTube, or you can head over to thelevelupco.com/ the luxury framework to learn more and to sign up. And we hope to see you inside. This is the Level Up Podcast. I'm Taylor Petrinovich.
And I'm Kelley Gilster of 618 Studios.
And we are on a mission to help wedding filmmakers and photographers level up their businesses so you can make more and work less.
We want to help you confidently take your business from mainstream to luxury, and it all starts right here.
Hey friends, and welcome to another episode of the Level Up Podcast. I am joined today by my co-host Kelley Gilster and also by a select number of our alumni students who have gone through our Mastermind program. And we're really excited to be recording this live with them, and they're going to be offering some of their insight and their opinions on today's topic. Do you guys want to say hello?
What's up?
Hello, Taylor.
Hello.
Hey.
We have such a good group today. Again, so many students from our alumni program, and we record these quarterly with alumni that we invite on who have been a part of our past masterminds. And it's really exciting because we are getting ready to launch our spring mastermind, which is super, super exciting. We even had people who have RSVP'd to save their spot weeks prior. And so, it's just spring, I think, is just such a great time of year to represent new growth. And so I'm just really excited for this one in where it falls in the year, setting people up for really good success for 2024.
Yeah, spring and growth and new things blooming actually tie really nicely into what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be kind of essentially laying the groundwork on what it looks like in a practical stance to be planting seeds, so to speak, in your business, and what you can expect in terms of reaping the rewards or sowing those seeds as they begin to bloom.
Yeah, we didn't even plan on this being a whole spring concept of planting seeds and growth and all the things, but it's super, super timely. And so what we wanted to talk about is what it means to grow seeds in your business and when you can really start to see the rewards of that planting, and when you're going to be able to have that big harvest in that time of your business and be able to because I think we've all had times where we're planting, and you're okay, we're waiting for this growth. We're just being patient. We're still waiting. Where are these little sprouts? Okay, the sprouts are coming. Now we got to keeping them alive. We got to keep going. And then you're just waiting for that time when you can just harvest whatever it might be. It might be your watermelon patch or your whatever it may be. And so you're excited for that day when you get to actually harvest and prepare and take a bite of what you set for your business months and months prior. And I kind of like to look at this as I'm sure that many of you guys here and our alumni listening and those listening in on the podcast too. And I hope that you guys are also watching on YouTube right now because you get to see all these cute, sweet, handsome faces here. We got some waves. And if you look at this as like health and fitness, right? Taylor and I both enjoy health and fitness a lot. And you've probably heard people say, it takes 4 weeks when you make that choice, right? That you want to make a change in, say, your exercise routine or health journey. It takes 4 weeks for you to notice a difference. It takes 8 weeks for your close friends and family to start noticing a difference, seeing the results starting to pay off. And then it takes 12 weeks for outsiders or maybe those who aren't in your close circle or even maybe strangers to notice like, oh, wow, like they look great, or like that shoulder definition is awesome, or like her legs are really toned, or whatever it may be. And I just feel like so much of this also applies to our business. Taylor, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that realizing that this is the nature of growth is really important because it can be easy to fall into becoming impatient and giving up, right? So I'm sure like so many of us have done it where like you start a diet and like in 3 days you're not like losing 10 pounds and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna give up and go eat the Cheetos. And that can be the same for our business, right? Like we're putting all this effort, all this work into things. Like we're developing new routines when it comes to social media, building planner relationships, or being mindful or communication, whatever it may be, whatever piece of that business puzzle that you are working to improve, it can feel like a fruitless journey because you're not seeing the results come right away. But basically, what we need the listeners or you to understand is that you're not going to see the results right away, but if you maintain that effort and if you're really consistent over time, the changes are going to be absolutely incredible. It just takes a while. We're actually coming up on a workshop, The Road to Luxury, and giving you guys a little bit of a sneak peek into what that is. We're going to be addressing what is called the 18-month rule inside that workshop. And it's basically the idea that it takes essentially 18 months to gain full traction in your business. You begin implementing changes over time. And just because of the way the luxury, or not the luxury market, the wedding industry works, the booking cycle, couples getting engaged, booking their vendors, and now you have to wait another 6 to 9 months to shoot the wedding, and then a little bit more time before you can add those pieces to your portfolio or your Instagram, or maybe the wedding's being published, right? So it just naturally is like an 18-month cycle. So it can take a while to see those changes come to absolute fruition, but being consistent over time like is the only way to do it.
Yeah. You can't be yo-yo dieting through this. There's no yo-yo dieting doesn't work in health and fitness, and it doesn't work in your business either. We can't be like 3 days on or even 3 weeks on of like going really strong on our Instagram strategies or like networking in all the ways for 3 weeks and then being like, well, this isn't working. I mean, you hear planners say it all the time that like they know when like they're on someone's radar and then when you like start to like ghost them and then just like disappear after like a month or two of starting to nurture a relationship, like, I mean, it's not a good look. Like, it's not a good look to be like, they know that they're like, oh, I just didn't get them a wedding. And like, that was so, it's just such a shallow way to go about things. And like, when we talk about planner relationships, we really say that this should be something that is just entered with like a servant's heart, right? Knowing that you know that you can serve their clients better, that you can serve their clients in a way that they may not even realize yet, and also paint their business in a really great light. So, it really needs to be a win-win for both parties. And so, yeah, no yo-yo dieting through this.
Please don't. Yeah, that's not going to serve anybody, your clients included, right? But I also want to kind of like frame things in a different way, a different side of the same coin, if you will, when it comes to how long it might take. It's not going to be tomorrow, but it's also not going to take a decade if you're being strategic about it, right? So we have our alumni sitting in. These are a handful of people who have gone through our mastermind program, and they can tell you firsthand that, these changes that they're making in their businesses, they're changes that are worth the effort, because sitting here now, even just like 4 to 9 months after going through mastermind, so many of them are seeing huge changes in their business. So if you're listening to this, just know that it's not going to happen immediately, but it also doesn't have to take a super long time, right? So it's like the perfect amount of turnaround time to feel inspired and continue working towards things, but without it feeling like a flash in the pan. So we kind of outline some of the differences between like Kelley's story and my story. And Kelley likes to refer to herself as the grandma of the industry. She's going on year 14.
If I'm the grandma, then Matthew sitting here is going to be like, well, then am I the great grandfather? I think Matthew has me beat for sure. But yeah, it doesn't have to take as long as it took Paul and I, right? So this is our 14th season. So in August of 2024, this will be our 14th year. And it didn't need to take that long. There's a proven strategy of filmmakers like Taylor, who's done it in half the time, other filmmakers out there that have done it in half the time too. But like where my business kind of lacked was in the vision. I didn't know that this like luxury market existed, and I didn't have like the wherewithal that like I could even get there. This would be like attainable for me, where like Taylor like identified that vision really early on in her business and then like immediately started implementing strategy to get there. And so that's kind of honestly like the whole heart between this upcoming workshop, is to like be able to just actively give that vision to people so that they can see what the possibility and full potential is for their business.
Yeah. And it each day kind of builds off of each other too. So day 1 is vision and day 2 is strategy. So we're diving right into the actual like tactical things that you need to do in order to gain the traction to get to those days of harvest in your business, if we're going to stick with that like springtime metaphor. Yeah, so for me, I mean, I started my business in 2017. My business anniversary is also in August. And in 2020, when the pandemic hit, that's when I really dove into learning about the wedding industry. And that's when I became aware of the luxury market. And literally that year, I did things that we are guiding our mastermind students through on a weekly basis. I did a full rebrand. Like my business name used to be Fleeting Moments Cinema. And I had a mentor and I said, like, does this sound like a budget business name? And she was all, yes, it does. And I was like, great, Taylor Petrinovich it is. Even though my last name is hard to pronounce, that's fine. We'll call it memorable. And I went through a full rebrand, the full website, the full, like, doing all the styled shoots, getting all the portfolio content, doing all the things. And 2 years later, I was booking weddings in the 5 figures. So I had over doubled my prices. And then now sitting here in 2024, another 2 years after that, my average price point is between $15,000 and $18,000 this year. And so one thing that I like to kind of say is like, well, I mean, not just me, obviously, this is like a cliche saying. So sorry if that sounded like I created it, but like the time is going to pass anyway, right? Like the time is going to pass anyway, whether you want to put the effort in or not. And it's up to you to decide like where you want to be sitting in another 18 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road. And so I would kind of like to maybe open it up to some of our alumni who are speaking. I'm wondering if like doing the raise hand feature might be the best way to go about this. But if anyone has any input or anything on maybe changes that you're making in your business or any wins you've experienced recently because you were able to plant those seeds over the last 9
and
to 12
also
months.
like what did those seeds look like? Like where did it all begin for you? Did it begin for you in more of a refresh? Did you need a full rebrand? Like, walk the listeners through, like if they're kind of listening and they're like, I don't even know where to get started. Like I'm hearing that there's this vision I need. I'm hearing that there's a strategy that I need, but like where do I even start? Like, do I need a new business name? Do I need a new website? Am I doing things all wrong? Like, anyways, I'm really excited to open it up now to our alumni student. And Matthew is going to get us started off. So, Matthew, will you introduce yourself to the listeners and also tell them your business name?
Okay, so bonjour everybody. My name is Mathieu. I'm the owner of Cinemat Films. I've been in business slightly longer than Kelley. So I've seen a lot of changes throughout the year, but I think that the one thing that's the most important as you're doing this is that you have to identify who your client is going to be. Once you have that, then you can start building your brand and you can start building your all your assets and everything. But if you don't know who you want to serve, it's very difficult to know how to get to them. Once you know who the client is, then you can start building the relationship, doing the networking, making the connection so you can get to that level. It's funny because for me, it's never been about not knowing about the luxury market. It's not wanting to do the luxury market because I didn't want to deal with the complicated bride and I didn't want to deal with the hassle. And I felt like I was comfortable in my market and all that stuff. And then I had the opportunity to do associate shooting for a company that does all those luxury wedding. And then you realize they're the best client in the world because they trust you. They know exactly that you're going to be the expert at everything that you're doing. And it makes so much more sense to be working that kind of people than other clients who are great clients, but sometimes they ask more than what you can actually provide them for what they want to pay you. But in the luxury market, they do understand the value and they know that you're going to provide the value. So that's one point that is very important. So first of all, you have to make sure that you're comfortable with that market and you have to make sure that this is the kind of person that you want to serve. I thought I didn't want to serve them. And then I realized, yes, no, that's exactly what I want to serve because that's actually how I identify to as well. So that's one of the points.
Amazing. I know. And I wish that I could go back and, like you were saying, like I held myself back because I had all these preconceived ideas of what a luxury client was and, all this stuff. And I too struggled with that same thought process. I was like, oh, yeah, the more you charge, the harder the clients are going to be. It's like, and I'm like, why did I tell myself these lies? I didn't even know. I was just like putting myself in the safety net, I think. I feel like it was like like a safety mechanism for myself to be like, well, maybe I'll just say that that's the way it is so that I don't have to aim for that and then maybe not reach it, right? Like I think it could also, like if we look at the core of it, that might be probably where I was coming from. It was like protecting myself from the fear of failure. When these clients are like you said, they're so trusting, like Matthew said, like they know, like they expect a great service. And like, if you are confident that you can deliver that and like speak their luxury language, provide them with an excellent client experience, like it's going to be a win for the client and for you every single time.
Yeah. So Matthew is in the process of a rebrand and he's about to, I mean, by the time this episode airs, it'll be live, which is incredible. Matthew, can you share maybe some of your recent wins that you've had? Because I think your story is inspiring.
Well, I think I want to start with more about like for the rebranding and all that stuff. It's a long process, and if you try to do it all at once and you want to be cheap or not smart about it, then you're gonna lose. So make sure that the people that you're going to be working with, they understand what you want to do, that they're part of the luxury market or part of the wedding market, and they know how to guide you through the whole process. Because I started doing the website back in February of last year, and I went with the wrong route at the beginning, and I lost basically 6 months of that. And when I found the right person, and it had to do with the fact that when I was in the mastermind, I listened to everything that people were saying about like who they're working with and stuff like that. And I understood what the mistake I did. I fired the other company, which in hindsight, you lose money, but in the meantime, you gain so much time back because then you're working with the expert that know exactly how to put it together. So that was the first part. And then after that, um, doing all the networking and connecting with all the right people make the big difference. I was able to reach out to them, talk to them about what I was trying to do with the new website. They gave me a lot of information on where I wanted to do. So if yet I have booked any weddings with the new brands because it hasn't yet launched, but I'm very confident that already people are reaching out to me like on Instagram, social media, or even like just DM me and they say that it looks amazing and they want to work with me. So definitely I'm showing a different feel and way that what my old website was showing. So that's the one thing. And when you do that and you revamp everything, you it's like when you declutter your house, right? You got to take out all the fluff and just keep what's the most important and what's going to sell you. And that's what I'm trying to do. And what I love with the new website that is coming out is like my word for the year is unapologetic. And it's when you see the website, it feels like it's me. Like for the first time in my life, I feel like it's a website that really reflects me, who I am as a person, but who I am also as a European cineast that came from France to live the American dream. Been doing it for 28 years. So it's something that is kind of amazing to be able to see it on paper and see it on the website and like understanding exactly for the first time that the word that I'm putting on the website really represent who I am as a person, as a brand.
Amazing.
So good.
I'm so happy
Unapologetic.
for
That's
you.
such a great word for the year.
Mhm.
Great word.
So
I might
good.
steal it.
Who do we have next? I'm kind of seeing in the chat, Evan, he said that he'll go. Evan, will you introduce yourself again? I know you were on our last alumni podcast, but maybe people hadn't caught that one just yet. So introduce yourself and your business name.
Hey, I'm Evan, and my business name is Evan Reese Films. And I would say that the biggest thing that I've learned over this past year since learning that you two exist was that I just needed a complete mindset change. So, pretty much a year ago to this point, I was in like a mind frame that my company had just like plateaued, and I had gotten to a pretty good level in my local market, and I was just loading up all of the budget weddings, and I had no idea where to go from there. So the biggest issue that I had was I just didn't know how to get to the next level. I didn't have anyone to instruct me, and I was just like, well, I guess I'm just stuck where I am right here. So then shout out to the Runaway Vows Facebook page, which I think Taylor or Kelley, one of y'all posted that you were doing the Road to Luxury workshop. And I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Sure, I'll join that. Why not? And that one post in that group, I don't know if I'll say it's changed my life yet, but it has completely overhauled my business, because that led me to learn that an attainable luxury market existed. It showed me that I just need to invest in education and learn those things so that I can apply it to my own business, and that it is 100% possible. So it is super exciting, and I haven't completely gotten where I want to be yet, because I am a father of two very little babies, and I don't have all the time that I would like to have to put into it right now, but I'm very close, and it's really exciting. And I'm very
Amazing.
thankful that you guys showed me what is possible.
So amazing. And honestly, I just want to say too, for those listening, I mean, Evan is in a season of life, and maybe you're in a season of life right now too, where like things are just busy. Maybe it's you have really young kids. Maybe it's that you have other responsibilities pulling you in other directions. Maybe it's a full-time job that you haven't quite left yet, and you're just kind of waiting and waiting and waiting, being like, well, when I'm out of this season of life, then I'll do it. Or when I'm able to leave this job, then I'll do it. But like, it can absolutely be done That's like the thing I love so much too about this mastermind is that it's a 12-week program. Like we want people to see like faster results than something that might be longer than that. And it's really like boiled down to exactly what you need to make those changes. And like anybody is welcome to be a part of this, whatever season of life you're in. There were numerous mastermind meetings with Evan sitting with both those babies on his lap. Like I feel like I'm like invested in these babies too. Like he even joined on today and Taylor goes, "Where are the babies, Evan?" And he's like, "Oh, they're down for a nap." And so like we are just so open. And I remember we had another past student that in our last mastermind that she didn't know if she could do it yet because she had I think it was a 4-month-old. She's like, "I have a really needy 4-month-old that like doesn't really nap." And we're like, "Bring her along. Like it's all good." Like we know that like if you're ready to hustle, like we're ready to meet you wherever you're at in your season of life. So don't let the season of life hold you back from planting those seeds so that you can start to like begin that harvest sooner. And even though Evan has said like I haven't yet harvested, but I know that it's coming, and he's just really exercising that patience, which is so incredible. And at least now like he's not in this like area he was in a year ago where he's just kind of like floating and going through the motions. Like there's no that's no way to run your business, right? Just kind of like letting things go. It's like time to really start going after those goals and making those actionable changes in your business. So thanks so much for sharing, Evan.
Yeah. Sometimes planting seeds also looks like prioritizing progress over perfection too. So even though you can't get everything to look exactly how you want right now because of whatever responsibilities you have, like you can still make progress. And if you make progress every week, like again, the time is going to pass anyway. You're a whole lot further ahead than you would have been if you would have just waited. Like a lot of people like to say like, oh, we want to wait to have kids. I want to wait to get married. I want to wait to buy a house. Like, wait. And like, for a lot of things that really works. But when it comes to business and like livelihood and things like that, like, there's no better time to start than literally today. It's like saving for retirement. Like, if you haven't started yet, like start today, start learning today, start furthering your business literally today. There's no better time. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to mean you have 40 hours a week to put into your business efforts, but little bits goes a long way if you do it over time.
Can I also say that one of the things that you guys really pushed me towards that really helped in this whole process was like I kept saying I need new business headshots. There's like a few things here and there that weren't quite ready for like a full launch, but you guys kept saying just put something out there, show the world that you are on the rise and that you have something coming. So I got a brand new like collections page put together, and it's still using my old business photo, but the fact that this whole new collections process shows what I want my business to look like. Like everyone I've shown my new pricing to is like, whoa, this looks really good. And well, one, I just based it off of what Kelley's looks like, 'cause she's amazing. But compared that to like my Honeybook PDF proposal page that I was using a year ago, it's literally night and day difference. And just put something out there to let people know that you're coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to do like the clapping hands emojis. Progress over perfection. Like the clap in between each word. That's what, maybe that's what we should title this episode. Thanks, Evan. That was so encouraging to hear. I think we had Miranda maybe who wanted to share next.
Yeah, I'm Miranda with Rosemary Films. I haven't even done my rebrand. I just barely got new headshots, and that didn't stop me from like seeing all the change that happened from everything I learned in Mastermind. Like I saw a pretty immediate change, which is kind of crazy. And along with the gardening metaphor, it was kind of like a pruning metaphor for me, like, or what's when you pluck leaves off a plant?
Oh yeah, I
I
love
was
it. Yeah,
just
pruning.
Yeah, I was just throwing anything out there. I felt like I had to post every wedding. I felt like I had to milk like every moment of every wedding. And I was always trying to like find like viral worthy moments. And then, you know, I learned to scale back. I learned to like be intentional. You guys told me like what to focus on. And I feel like now, you know, I haven't even done my rebrand, but I feel like when people land on my Instagram or whatever, it's a little more focused. And I feel like certain people have like followed me that I'm like, if they found my page like 6 months ago, they probably wouldn't have followed me. Like, you know, I'm like seeing people, I'm like, oh, that's a nice follow. But, you know, it's because of the changes I made. And it's nothing crazy, but you're just more focused with like what you're presenting. Um, and so I'm kind of like in that middle of like, I saw a change immediately and I'm like so excited for what's to come. And then now I'm in this limbo of like, I haven't filmed those weddings yet. I don't really have content, content of those weddings. So I'm kind of like in limbo of like weddings I used to have versus what I'm super excited for. So it is kind of like you got to keep going. You got to keep sowing the seeds. So like prune the plants you have and then sow new plants, I guess.
Ooh,
I don't know.
I love it. Miranda is like taking all the metaphors and it's
I really liked
so
that
good.
garden.
I love it. Are you a gardener?
No, I
Oh,
kill
I was
plants
gonna say.
actually. One just died on my shelf, so.
No, but you're doing all the right things. And the headshots that Miranda just rolled out, dang, they are so, so good. And we were really happy to help guide her through like what is going to really help and you know, basically speak to her ideal client and blend really well with her rebrand that's coming out. So we're excited for all that's to come. And we understand, you know, we had Drew a while back on the podcast. I don't know if you guys listened to it, but he said he didn't sleep for 56 hours and he just rolled in and just did it all. And we understand that like that probably isn't doable for a majority of people, but if you can do it, go for it. Drew was like a student that just like took it and ran, and that's amazing. I myself am in a season that when I have a new concept coming my way, it's going to take me a little bit longer because I have kids now and multiple businesses and all the things, but like it's okay to roll it out as long as you do have the awareness now and you have the proven strategy in place. Like you will get there, and now it's up to you to exercise that progress over perfection and get things going as best you can and as quickly as you can.
This is so fun hearing from some of our past Mastermind students. And if you can't tell, Kelley and I love what we do. We love coaching and we love like getting our hands into everyone's businesses. And that's one of the amazing, I would say, like one of the amazing benefits of our mastermind is that we are on the smaller side. Like I know there's like different programs out there of various sizes, but we do keep it to a pretty limited number, and that's for a reason. We have shut the doors to where like once we've capped that number, we haven't let people in, and that's because we like to be able to pay attention to everyone's businesses and meet everyone where they're at. We want to be able to literally give one-on-one feedback on your headshots or on your website. And we like to do screen recordings with our input and things like that. So I feel like it's only possible if there's a select number of people inside a program. And so if you can't tell, we're insanely proud of all of our students and everything that everyone has done, whether it's full revamps of their businesses inside and out or making small adjustments and striving for that progress over perfection. We're just like super excited for everybody. And we hope you guys can hear that in our voices that we just love what we do. I think next we're going to hear from Brian.
Hello. So, I think the best thing I got out of the course is, you know, I haven't even done everything that you guys haven't even mentioned in the course yet, but from what I got out of it is more planners are reaching out to me, and it has, you know, shifted my mindset even when I'm out there filming, and also everything I've changed from my brand as well, from like where to shift my focus on, where to put my time at, and it's so it is helping me that more planners are reaching out to me. I even have some style shoots coming up, but I think what drew my attention to the course is, you know, the thing is I'm in a lot of courses, and one of the things that is different for me is that, you know, I have kids, and I can't be taking like volume work, and that was a huge thing that draw my attention to YouTube, because I was like, okay, well, I'm in all these courses, and then a lot of them are great, and there's a lot of great business things that I got from a lot of courses, but there is a huge difference when you're learning from someone that has kids, because there's a lot of things you just can't do. You can't be jumping on all these weddings like every weekend after every weekend, and it wasn't just like burning me out, but it was taking more time for my kids, and I have to edit all these videos. And 2021 I had like 52 weddings to edit, and I was like, okay, I can't be doing that again. So I have to really limit the number of weddings I take, and I had to learn how to work with the clients that are going to value my time. And the best thing right when I took your course, I felt like everything was everything was so relatable. Just from learning what is luxury, just the beginning of it, it's like everything. There's more clarity of what it is. There's all this Facebook noise, and everybody's saying this and that and everything, but you guys were very clear on that. And then there's a lot of things that you guys even mentioned. Like, I felt like you were talking directly about me. I felt like I was doing too much of I was getting all these creative ideas. I want to do this and that and this and that, and it's like I needed to kind of really think about where I want to focus on. And I was going crazy with all these crazy transitions, which I still do with even my videos. But even all those flashy transitions, it's not gonna help me grow as a wedding videographer unless I focus on who I'm catering to. And it's more than just the couple. It's everyone that's involved with the wedding that's gonna help my business. And but everything from when you guys were critiquing my website and my Instagram, during those meetups, that really changed everything. And you guys go over a little bit of the production as well. But even in my mind, like when I'm out there at the wedding, I'm also thinking about other the other vendors as well. And that's really helped a lot.
Yeah, just being an all-around team player too. And Taylor and I have this is like still such a new, year long or 13 months, I think it's been since we brought it on. And Taylor and I were talking on the phone. This is like our whole life, you guys. Like, we just, if we're not recording this, or if we're not building out a new area of the course, or if we're not on social media, like we're on the phone talking and stuff like that. And Taylor, it was kind of funny, like when Taylor first was putting together the website, and she came up with the description words of like who we were. And one of her ones, which she said, was moms. And like the first time I read it, I was like, it was like kind of an ick for me. I'm like, I don't know if I don't know, like we're moms, we're just moms. Like, I mean, not just moms. We're creators and filmmakers and like whatever else it is. And then as then we've talked about it more, I'm like, no, we really do serve, if you're talking about like ideal client, like, sure, I mean, we can definitely be talking to people who don't have kids or have chosen not to have kids, and that's okay. Like, that's awesome. But like, or don't have them yet, but want to build their business for when they do, or like whatever it may be. And like, so now it's been this whole year of embracing this mom thing. And Taylor was like, I think people like to be like taken care of. Like, we almost have this nurturing sense of like being moms and knowing that we can like nurture people through their businesses and stuff. And so it's been kind of something that I've had to overcome as far as like placing myself in that box, but knowing that it is something that serves people and that we're meeting people where they are. And how Brian said, like, it felt like you were talking directly to me and like you got it. Because I'll be honest, like I'll see the Facebook chatter, I'll see all the noise on Facebook, and I'll kind of be peering through the comments, and I can like almost immediately see when people are giving out like really, really strong business advice, and I'm like, doesn't have kids. Totally, I can for sure know that they don't have kids.
Yeah, life does change. And kind of going back to both Miranda and the pruning, and I think Matthew, you alluded to it too. It's like you really do like strip down the fluff, and that's the beautiful thing of having like parents as educators, is like, we're not going to waste your time like with all the fluff information that you probably don't need, because like straight up, we don't have time for that. Like, we don't have time to waste your time, so you don't have to worry about it. We have a 12-week program, in and out, very fast. Like, it's literally everything you need and nothing that you don't. And we love it. Actually, like, so just side note, this is so funny. Like, Kelley and I spend a lot of time talking together because we're dreamers, but we're doers, and we have like all these grand plans and stuff. And right as I like was asking Kelley if she wanted to be a part of the Level Up brand and everything, I told her, I was like, just so you know, like probably within the next year, like you're gonna be my best friend. Like we're gonna like talk so much. And I think I've almost got her. I think I'm close.
No, it's so true. We talk so much. It's like all of it. But yeah, we're just so grateful. And Brian, it's so great to hear your experience. And we're happy that we could speak to you in a way that isn't in the fluff and speaks your same language with the season that you're in. So yeah, that's really encouraging for us to hear. And I hope that listeners too feel that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. And segueing into, I think, Brooklyn, I think you might have us all beat in terms of number of kids. So, and you, honestly, I think you might have us all beat in like being like the newest in business too. So, like, two amazing things that make your progress and everything that you have accomplished like so incredibly impressive.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm Brooklyn Holden and I have Brooklyn Holden Films. So yes, I have 4 kids and it's a little nuts. And I started my business, I guess this is like the third wedding season? I don't know, I think so. And like one of those I had maternity leave, so it's kind of been a little nuts, but I just wanted to hop on and say that for me, I think, I don't know if it was to Kelley or Taylor before I joined Mastermind, I was like, I think I did the, boot camp or something. And then you reached out and were like, if you want to join our mastermind or whatever. And I was like, maybe next time, like life is really crazy and I am doing a rebrand and, like maybe I should wait till I kind of like get some ducks in a row and book some weddings, or whatever. And then I like slept on it and I was like, that's crazy. Like, if I'm going to do this, like I'm going to do a rebrand, like I should be doing this course, like when I'm doing it and not wait and, not try to do things by myself and then get into the mastermind and then try to change everything after. And so for me, like it just, even though I didn't, have a lot of time, to do a course with, 4 kids and everything, I was like, I'm going to do it because in the end, it's going to save me time. It's going to save me time to not have to go back and like revamp everything or redo my strategy. And so for me, like I'm still implementing a lot of the things. I still should like, try to tweak things and change things here and there. But it's like once I launched my new website and everything, like the strategy after, like on Instagram and with planners and everything, like that part I wouldn't have really known or done correctly. And so I'm like super thankful that I had the course when I did so that I could go into that with all the knowledge I gained from you guys and be ready to present myself in a way that now planners are reaching out to me. And hopefully it will like continue to go in the direction I want it to go. But I just think I had a lot of excuses of like why I should wait to do it until, oh, sorry, that's an alarm to pick up my kid, but she's getting a ride home. But anyways, so I just say like, don't wait because in the end, it's gonna save me time. And like, I know we're talking about being parents or whatever, but I think you guys really address how we don't want to get burnt out. Like a lot of videographers get burnt out, photographers get burnt out, and everyone, whether they have kids or not, like wants more free time, more time with their significant others or to travel or like whatever. And so just kind of having that strategy, making your time worth it and not just like getting burnt out is kind of what I feel like a lot of Mastermind is about. And that's why I wanted to do it. And I think that is like really helped my mindset on making sure my priorities are right with my family, but also investing in my business and not feeling like it's taking over my life, I guess. So that's
Absolutely.
how I feel about Mastermind.
And your rebrand is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. For those listening, you need to head over to, is it brooklynholdenfilms.com? Yeah. It's so good. She did such a beautiful job. And 4 kids, 3 years in business. Wow, you guys, like it's just, and Brooklyn, what's your starting price? Or what was your starting price like a year ago? What's your starting price now?
It was like a year ago, it was like 3,500, I think. Now it's like 5,000. So I'm like
Woohoo.
I'm moving up in the world.
So
I
great.
mean, starting at 5,000 versus 3,500 and you're doing,
Yeah,
X amount of weddings per year, that stacks. Like, that's
yes, yes,
amazing.
yes. So I'm getting out of the budget and hopefully, be more picky about the weddings and that sort of thing. So
Fun fact, Brooklyn second shot for me, a wedding a few years ago. Do you remember that?
yes, yes. I was actually pregnant then, but I wasn't telling anybody, but so I was like, hopefully I'm not sick, but I wasn't sick. So
That's so fun. I was actually, I was only maybe like 8 weeks postpartum with my third daughter too. So, sticking with the parenting, theme now. It's fun and you can do it, and kids don't have to hold you back from achieving your dreams and your goals. They can really add to it and light a fire under you because you have a bigger why behind what you're doing. This is amazing. Well, we're coming up on close to an hour, so I think we're gonna wrap it up. But again, we are opening up the doors to the Luxury Mastermind once again here. And if the doors are not already open, then you can save your seat, and you can do that by going to thelevelupco.com/RSVP, where you can reserve your seat so that when the doors do open, you have a guaranteed spot inside, because we have sold out the other 2 times we have launched. And if you're listening and this is something that you want to be pursuing in 2024, we want to give you an opportunity to reserve that for yourself and for your business. And actually, fun fact, we're actually over 25% full already, and the doors have not opened yet. So go and don't wait. And Matthew's raising his hand, so I think he wants to add something really quickly.
Yeah, one thing also that I was going to say is that advantage of being in Mastermind is that being in that community, because as a filmmaker or as a videographer, we are kind of lonely in front of our computer, and having that community where we can be with people that are all like-minded is very, very important. And the fact that it's a small amount of people makes it much easier to communicate with everybody and feel like we are a close niche. Even if we don't know each other, we feel like we know each other because we've been together through the 12 weeks.
Yeah, it's so good. We meet every week and get to see all your guys' faces and see the kiddos, if there's kiddos on the lap, and all the things. So it's a really good time. I love it. I feel like the last meeting is always like the most dreaded meeting. Taylor and I were like, okay, we don't want to say bye yet. Like, we're like not wanting to press end meeting on the Zoom. So anyways, it's a really good place. It's a safe place. It's a place for positivity and true growth. And again, I feel like that's really done by keeping the size small. Taylor and I have even talked about, what happens if this grows to where we maybe need to split the groups, or what that might look like. And we've said, like, yeah, we would absolutely need to figure out restructuring that so that we can still offer that intimate guidance in a group setting, but still receiving like a lot of that one-on-one feedback and attention to your business. So yeah.
Well, thank you guys for sitting in on this live podcast recording. And for those of you who are still listening almost an hour in, thank you for sticking with us. As we record these alumni podcast episodes, we are navigating what these look like. Obviously, doing things in the live setting adds a bit of authenticity to the podcast, which we love. But thank you for tuning in. And before we sign off, do you guys want to say goodbye?
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks
Bye.
for listening.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us in today's conversation. Please help us reach more filmmakers and photographers like you by taking a screenshot and sharing it to social media. And don't forget to tag us at The Level Up Co.
And join us again next week, same time, same place, as we continue to level up the industry together.